Hey, folk, it's that time of year again. It's the fall season, and you know what's coming next? Besides the falling leaves, Halloween is approaching. So, I wanted to come on and show you all a couple of projects that I'm working on. So, these projects that I'm going to show you, you can do on your own, but it's also going to be part of a bigger project that I'm working on. So, one was a haunted house. I wanted something that was a little bit larger. I didn't want something that's very, very miniature. So basically, what I did was I took a foam board about the size of this board here, cut it down a little, and just kind of scored it every 5 or 6 inches in order for it to fold. I did not cut it where it can separate, so it can just fold like this. And then this is what I eventually did: sprayed it, right? Sprayed it like this, turned it back, and voila, you basically have the facade of a house. It's really, really simple. I didn't feel the need to walk you through it. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, right? So I wanted to be a rather large mansion. So I also did like a corner house. The same thing. I just took a foam, cut a corner piece, scored it down the middle, and folded it. Here we go. Then I just cut these shapes out for the windows, because I figured what I'm going to do is create some, how should we say, macabre scenes in these mirrors. And so it's going to look something like this, right? And I just quickly made some roofs like this, slanted roofs are going to go on top, right? So I wanted to show you this, and I'm really excited. And it's really, really simple, as you can see. So that's the first part of the project. Another project I'm working on is, let's show you here. Bear with me, folks. So for you all know I love to do like my mirrorscapes. So I cut this very large foam core board out, and I found these wonderful scale hands at Dollar Tree, and a skull and bones, literally $1 each. So we're talking about like $4 here. I already had this very large board. So I pretty much cut it in a circle, and my creative juices started flowing. So I think what I wanted to do was I wanted to have this ghost kind of looming over a scene that incorporates the house that I just showed you, and of course, some flowers. So I'm going to create some things here now. So what I want to do is the skull, and I simply took another piece of foam. Like, you can really, really use a lot of things you have around the house. Foam core, cardboard, which is my favorite as well. And just kind of cut out the shape of a chest, and just kind of cut out what looks like to be ribs. And I'm going to place these like this, right? Something like this. I hope you can see this. And then I'm going to cover it with a sheet. But first, I am going to show you what I need to do. And this is a little, see here. Just bear with me, folk. So I'm just going to glue this down. I already glued the head to a couple of pieces of styrofoam just to raise it up a little, so it would be so flat, because when you hold it up, it's going to be like looming down. So I'm just going to glue this here. To the board. That's going to be the top. What I also did was these bones, right? I just decided to take a saw, and I kind of cut the end of the bone off, and I'm going to stick these hands. I need to cut the tag off. I'm just going to stick these hands in here like this, right? So it's really, really simple. I'm probably going to put some glue in here. I am going to put some glue in here just to kind of hold it. It's already tight. I'm just going to put some extra glue in here. So it's already tight. Look what happens. And I'm going to place it there. So you'll see where I'm going with this. Now, on this right side, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I am going to have this right side a little bit more mobile. So I'm going to take some wire. I just punched some holes on both sides of the bone there, and stick the wire up through here, bring it down. Of course, now that I'm filming, it's not going through. Let me make sure I can see. There we go. So I made 2 holes on the board. I'm just sticking them through the board like this. And I just use the floral wire that I have. You know, we all have this floral wire, which is really, really great. So I'm just going to kind of secure it in the back, because later on you'll see why I need this arm to be a little bit more mobile. So you see, I have it like this. So I'm not going to really glue it down. So I have the head here. I'm just going to glue this rib. I just put some little pieces of foam on the back side just to raise it up a little bit so it will not be so flat. I'm not sure if I have enough. Right? And I'm going to go ahead and glue the bone down on the left side here, the hand. I probably should put a little bit more to make sure. I guess I need to make sure they're kind of even. I'm going to put just a tad bit just to hold it. But for the most part, again, because of the wire, you see, this is loose here. Make sure I slide it back so you can see. This is kind of loose. This is loose. And this one is much more, it's going to be glued down. So what I'm going to do next is, as you can see, what I'm going to do next is, I just took an old sheet, right? I'm just going to drape the sheet over it. This little baby keeps. And what I'm going to do next, folk, is I'm going to cut around I'm going to cut a little hole out around the face of the skull. Like this. And then what I'm going to do is I made a mixture before I turned the camera on. Just a mixture of some glues that I have left. I'm just mix some the tacky glue. I probably put a little bit of E6000, whatever I have. I even put a little bit of lacquer in here and a little bit of water, because what I want to do is I'm going to take the mixture and just kind of go around the side of the skull and have the fabric stick to the side of the skull like this. I hope you're able to see this, folks. It may get a little messy, but I can guarantee you this is going to be quite an interesting piece of artwork, for lack of a better word. And what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to glue I'm just going to put glue all around here. And you don't have to worry about it being neat because it's just barely covering up the little devil, if you will. And what I'm going to do over here, I'm going to cut out an area where his hand can come through. Because remember, I told you that this arm, the right arm, needs to be a little bit more mobile. Right? So I'm just basically cutting it through there. So you see where I'm going with this? And I'm just going to dab the glue on. Like I said, it's probably going to get a little messy. Just be careful when putting the glue down. Just keep, and I'm even going on the outside so that it can stick. I'm just randomly placing it all over the board. So again, you don't have to worry about it being neat. The goal is just to have this ghost figure with the creepy fabric over top. I think now I am going to cut out a slit for the left arm as well, even though it's going to dry in place and it's not going to be moving much, but that's okay. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue underneath. Okay. So just keep going around and around, folks, and I'm going to leave the bottom of it dangling a little bit. I'm not going to adhere or secure it much to the bottom, but you get an idea. You get an idea of what it looks like. And I'm going to let this dry. Please stay tuned. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. This is going to be a part of a magnificent